Yeah.
All right. Just lamenting over the fact I didn't have something to drink now before we got going. But hello, guys. We're live. I'm here joined by Christian,
Yep.
who
Hi.
is hello. Christian is one of my awesome Patreon patrons, and so we're just going to be hanging out for a little while, just kind of chatting about some stuff, whatever. I'm you guys will just kind of see me working. I'm working on lining my mini grays, and so we'll just hang out. So actually, Christian and I, we don't really know each other. Well, I guess you probably know a lot more about me maybe than I know about you.
Yeah. um,
uh,
well, I'm in
yeah.
Oklahoma, the
Hmm.
Midwest, the Gundam wasteland.
Hmm.
I just learned like last week that there is even a Hobbytown, USA in this state,
Mm. So
and it's like,
that was from the group that I shared to you.
yeah. Honestly, like I've been having to mail order all my kits because the only other like I think there's one shop and it's about like a 40-minute drive from where I live that even sell kits, and they mostly sell like really outdated stuff. Not like
Mm.
really outdated, but like they don't have anything of like the newer stuff and the older.
It's just
It's
stock
like,
that they've had for a long time.
yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, the only way I was even able to get some of the stuff I wanted was because I volunteered at a con that happened in January.
Mm.
And I picked up a Banshee Norn and
HG or MG or PG.
HG.
Mm.
Oh man, the stickers on that. Oh,
Yeah.
the,
Especially the
the
backpack.
gold,
Yeah.
not great.
Yeah. Yes, I know what you mean. Uh, I think that's what the only one of that only HG Banshee that I built at Banshee Norn was the titanium finish one, and yeah.
I mean, it's like it's super custom beam magnum is really cool though, and I'm planning on using that in a kit bash.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I kit bash too much.
But I
I
mean,
I actually I've bought somewhere like 10 plus kits and I have two completed just because of like I kit bash so much and I just never stop.
mm,
And I work a lot, so I don't have like a whole lot of free time, but still, 2 out of 10 ain't great.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, if you're using it all as like for parts, you'd have a lot of stuff just kind of left over, right?
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot.
Mm. So what's the stuff that you have completed that you
I
worked on?
have I haven't painted a whole lot or anything, but maybe if I can turn on the light in here and show you my terrible, terrible desk.
And so I've been pushing to finish up some of these projects that have been sitting on my desk for too long to try to clean up my desk.
So this right here is a mix of it's a kit bash of the GM Cold type and the Full Armor 7th with the Amazing Weapons binder.
Mm.
And this over here, I don't even remember what all went into this guy. I think it's Strike, Dynamis. I think those are Force Impulses arms. No, those are the Estrella arms. Strike legs, G Self torso, and Rinashita side skirts
Uh-huh.
with the build burning head. And yeah.
So how did you just like buy do you just like buy kits that you like and then just see which parts from which kits go well together, or do you like plan out everything you want to do and then buy the specific kits that you need for that?
I started planning out just because it saves money.
Yeah, right.
mean, I make a lot of like an hourly wage, but I help pay like a lot in rent. But I still have like a lot of disposable income, so I was just buying them left and right. But now I'm starting to plan it out just because it's gotten to be too much.
And I think you get to like that point. I think you get to at that point in your life when you're starting work, whatever, when you're young, whatever, and you're like making enough to get by, and you're spending a little bit, and then once you start to actually get to a point where like you have a lot more disposable income, I think a lot of people maybe do that too. They tend to just use it
Yeah.
as much as they can. I had
Um,
that. I had that when I first moved here to Korea, and actually, it wasn't actually that I was spending a lot of money on Gunpla at that time. I was spending a lot of money on like skateboarding stuff,
huh.
but that also changed.
Yeah, because gosh, that stuff. I don't know. Into it, I'd assume that's a lot actually, like more expensive than Gunpla, just as a whole.
Well, not necessarily like the like equipment and stuff, but I'm talking also just like clothing and things like that.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, because a skateboard, you just need one and just ride it as long as you can.
Yeah, I know because I know some people I went to school with. They would like, I don't know, they would just trick out their skateboards with like they would just swap out wheels like every like day.
Oh, that's silly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Uh,
I wasn't spending all that much money on like that kind of stuff, parts and things like that.
okay.
But every once in a while, maybe some new bearings or something. But it was mostly just like, oh, now I can finally buy all these awesome T-shirts and stuff because I just love T-shirts.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of kit bashing, one of the
Hmm.
main questions I had for you was I'm planning on, because there's a contest in our Discord right now. It's just basically who can do like quality work while still making it different and not just like a straight build, you know? So like more than just like a palette swap. So I'm planning on doing a Victory 2 with crossbone arms, sort of like making it a ground type and making like a little desert diorama for it.
Okay. Yeah.
I was probably going to use the crossbones feet just because they seem more ground type to me with all the foot knives and everything.
Mm. Yeah, I suppose so.
I have a picture of the palette, but I don't know how do I probably have to send it through Messenger, don't I?
Yeah, I suppose so. You might not be able to on mobile.
Yeah,
So you're saying like it's a competition or just like a friendly build off or what's that?
it's a friendly build-off slash competition. Whoever does well gets a little bit of money, not enough to reimburse you for the kits, but you know, I mean, it's
Something.
money's money,
Yeah.
and I want to do my best to up my game because I'm still having issues like really beginner stuff. So
Oh well, me too. uh, so you want to like brainstorm that idea, you mean?
uh, yeah.
So the point
Um,
is to make it, sorry, explain the gist again. I'm not sure I got
uh,
it.
to like customize it, like
Yeah.
hold on, I'm finding my picture. It's here somewhere. Oi, Messenger is
Customize
not.
it without customizing it too much? Or
Um, that was my plan, to keep it like still pretty victory-y, but like the point of it is to make it your own original thing. And still like uh 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 I got lost. I was flipping through Messenger and then it backed me out. I sent you that picture. That was my color palette for it. I came up with the gist of it. One of the people in my Discord slotted in some more color separation on it.
Okay. Can I show that for other people to see?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Just so anyone else watching can see that. This is what he's talking about here. I don't know if that's in focus enough. My face is stopping that from being in focus. There we go. Anyway, you guys can see that.
The arms are brown just because I didn't really want to color the arms because I'm using different ones, so I don't think it mattered all that much. I mean, the arms are pretty much just going to be the same as the body. I was just going to maybe color like the sub arms that flip out from the X1, you know? Maybe. I think I was planning on doing those like gray. And then the rest of it like... actually, I don't know. Maybe I should have colored the arms.
So you're saying on your finished product, you're not planning on having the arms being brown?
Right.
In this same kind of light bluish color?
Yeah.
So what was the setting? You said that you wanted to have a diorama kind of like desert?
Yeah.
Interesting that you're not using a desert, like a more typical desert color scheme of like tan.
I kind of wanted it to be like, almost like, because I know I haven't actually watched Victory, but I know the V1 was like hyper mass produced. So I kind of want it to be somebody's custom. Or was the V2 the only V2? Or were there like
I'm not sure. I started watching Victory and only made it like 10 episodes in, and I haven't ever finished it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm really not familiar enough with it to tell you that. I mean, that just depends on how much you care about it being canon, really. I mean, you can make it whatever you want.
Yeah. I don't really need it to be canon. I just like wanted the faded ace colors, you know? Like this with somebody's custom, and then he's just been on the ground for so long that all his paint's faded.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
I was gonna, because I know there are lots of wargamers, and that's like the only place I can actually find paint other than Hobby Lobby, and then I can pretty much only find Tamiya primer other than Tester's spray paint. So, I mean, Tester's right. I've fiddled with it a little bit, but I don't know. I don't have the knack for spray paint.
I've never used it. Before I started airbrushing and I was using spray cans, I just only have used Mr. Color and Tamiya spray cans as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, they work fine, and I was really fine with it at that time. Now, I wouldn't want to go back to using that.
Yeah, and I know there's like
an work fine.
Yeah. There's a like a starter kit airbrush thing that comes with its own compressor and everything, and it's like $80 on Amazon, but I don't know if I want to drop the money on that. Just because it's not like a real big investment, but it's still.
Well, my advice to you on that I think we've talked about this before, maybe a couple of times on Gunpla Talk as well. So you maybe have already heard this before, but is probably better if you really want to get an airbrush to invest in something even more expensive than that,
Right.
because if it's something you really want to do, and you think you just want to buy a cheaper one for now, that way you can just kind of get the hang of airbrushing, and then later on down the line you buy a more expensive one. But then you're buying two when you could have just bought one straight away.
Yeah.
So
The problem with it is that I'm just not confident enough in my skills yet to actually start in on that part. That's why I'm planning on hand painting this one.
yeah, I understand, definitely. It's definitely like a scary thing to start getting into airbrushing, totally. And you're definitely not alone. Me, and I'm sure plenty of other people have also felt that. But there's kind of, as they say, I guess, nothing to it but to do it, right?
Yeah.
You just have to kind of jump into it. And I mean, look, honestly, I think it's not that difficult as it's kind of made to seem. If you, of course, want to be really good at it, it's going to take some more time. But just like basic stuff, it's really not that much to it.
Yeah. And another problem for me with the airbrush is that I live in like a 2-bedroom apartment, so there's really not any space to set up like any kind of spray booth.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I could do a balcony, but it's not great because the balcony is like maybe 16 square foot of space.
Yeah, space is definitely a important factor as well. You definitely need that, especially if you want to be spraying lacquers.
Black.
They're really strong.
Yeah.
When I used to use spray cans, and sometimes I had a mask. Sometimes just out of just being lazy, I would just spray without the mask because I was spraying outside, and I figured like the wind is like blowing it, and I'm really not getting it that bad. But then I started to notice that like I'd always be getting like sore throat like the day after painting. And then I realized it's because of the paint is so bad. So definitely be careful and definitely consider your space for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. You're living in just that place by yourself?
No, it's actually my mom, her boyfriend, his 2 daughters, me, and my brother.
All right. So yeah, you do have other people you have to consider in this space as well. So yeah. So if you're living by yourself, you'd probably be okay. You could put the spray booth right next to your bed if you wanted. Like my good buddy Alex, who might be watching the chat. I haven't been paying attention to the chat, but there's a good chance that maybe Alex is watching now. But that's been his problem. He lives here in Korea here as well, and he's been wanting to get into airbrushing, and I think he even like has his airbrush and everything already, all of that. But it's just been the space. His apartment is small, but it's just him in there, and it's fine.
Yeah,
it would be fine. But the problem in his case is that there's no window anywhere near like where he would be able to do it. So he'd have to run like the hose like really far through the window.
Yeah, and that's not great either because if anything happens to your hose, all of a sudden you've just got like paint leaking out on whatever you have your hose attached to.
Yeah. So that's been his problem. So
yeah.
I don't know. So for this kit that you're talking about anyway, for this build off, you're just going to be using spray cans then?
No. I was gonna hand paint it.
Oh, okay.
Because, The only place I could think of getting those colors at, other than doing some crazy spray can tricks, is using Citadel hand paints for like Warhammer 40.
Uh-huh.
And
Just doing that by hand.
yeah.
The V2 is a really nice kit, and Crossbone as well, I suppose. But I really enjoyed the V2.
I wish the X2 wasn't P Bandai. That'd be great because I love the Charge Lance. I love it.
I don't know if this is maybe not allowed in your build off, or if it's something that you're just personally against. But I'm sure you can probably get just a Chinese one off Taobao, probably. Just a bootleg of that weapon. I mean.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's okay, because if I remember right, it was like you just can't have the third party kit be the base of your suit.
Yeah.
But anything else was pretty much fair game.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, you could look into that if it's something you want to look for. I personally don't have much experience looking at Taobao because I can't figure it out at all. But I know you can use proxy services, and the thing for me as well is just there's never been something that I was really like that desperately looking for to really take the time to figure it out. But
I have until June, so honestly, our resident vendor, we call him RX. He actually has a shop set up on the East Coast. So, is it cool if I pitch that?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, by all means.
Tower Hobby, guys. Give RX some love. Yeah, Wizards Tower Hobby.
Okay. Where is it located?
He's on the East Coast, and he ships out pretty quick. I actually got my first MG from him, and it got here to Oklahoma within like 3 days. Basic shipping.
Nice. Waiting on a package from Samuel Decal from Hong Kong. It's hopefully gonna arrive maybe Saturday.
Nice.
Got a lot of stuff in there. He's really cool, and I talk about him probably all the time. But he like I just order P Bandai stuff I order from him, and then also third-party kits I order from him. So just because it's coming all the way from Hong Kong, I usually have him like hold the stuff until he has like a few things and then ship it together.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what HobbyLink Japan does with their private warehouse. So I've just got like there's like maybe 4 or 5 kits, I think coming from him all at once. That'll be one of them is the new Harut kit, that third-party Harut, the Harut Final Battle.
Oh, the Final Battle version with all the extra funnels and stuff. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, not funnels. It's something I don't even know. I have never even seen the movie. But I really like the
movie. It's been a while.
What was that review when people were telling me about that? I guess it was the review of the RG Double Quanta. And I maybe mentioned, I guess, that I hadn't watched the movie, and a lot of mixed reviews in the comments. People were saying, just watch it and try it. And a lot of people were saying, don't waste your time on it. But
the movie, I like the ending was pretty weird, but you know, I found it perfectly fine just as a standalone thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. From what I understand, there's aliens involved or something, which is kind of weird. But
yeah, they're like aliens. They're basically made out of like mercury. That's the appearance that they have, and then they sort of take on. They're sort of like cells. They glop onto something, and then they have sort of like a hive mind, and then they end up assuming the forms of like the the battleships and stuff from. Oh God, no, they weren't the A-Laws by the end of it. Maybe they were
So,
the A-Laws. I need to watch Double O again.
spoiler alert, I guess, for anyone who hasn't seen it. I don't really care because I'll watch it someday eventually, but I'm not too worried about it being spoiled.
But yeah, they just end up like assuming a whole bunch of like forms and stuff.
I'll have to get to it eventually, I suppose. Anyway, got that kit coming, as well as the MG new Verka with the heavy weapon system kit.
Oh yeah, that one.
That new P Bandai kit and the P Bandai Zaku, the Robert Gilliam one. It's like the blue and white MSV Zaku.
Mm.
And that was another P Bandai kit. And the hanger set for the full armor Gundam.
Oh, that'll be neat.
That as well. Actually, I'm only keeping just the guns of that kit. I only want the guns. The actual hanger part of that I'm actually selling to a friend of mine here. Because it's a kind of cool, and I like the fact that you're able to show off like the Gundam without the armor, because I really like just the base Gundam in there, the Thunderbolt Gundam without all the extra armor. I think it looks really cool. So I like that, but it's just kind of too messy visually for me. I mean, you got the Gundam in there, but then you've got all the extra armor and everything's like all is like in the big cloud around it.
Yeah. Just cloud around it and stuff.
If I wanted to do something like that, I think it'd be better to just have it in making some other kind of hanger diorama where you have some more space to put like some of the armor on, and then have some of the armor all like on some rack or something next to it. But anyway, the guns in that set are really awesome. So the bazooka and beam rifle that come with that. So yeah, looking forward to that box. That box from Samuel also has my water slide decals for the Psycho Zaku.
Ooh.
So I need to get to work on that. So that's another reason why I'm trying to clear my desk so I can get back to work as Zaku and start working on the Psycho Zaku. Speaking of Zakus, are you planning on entering my contest?
No, just because like I'm gonna have my hands tied with this one since I'm gonna be doing like a whole lot of stuff I've never done before and have a Zaku at hand. And because I don't ship my stuff to my apartment. The person I ship my stuff to has sort of put me on probation from buying kits for a little bit. So just because I've bought so much in a short amount of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of contests going on. I know there's also the Hobby Link Japan contest is on at the same time, but I don't know. I had already put off starting my contest for a while, and I thought there's always going to be other contests going on. I can't like possibly try to plan mine at a time when there's no other contests going on, so just go for it.
Yeah.
But people who are willing and able will enter, and people who are busy doing other stuff won't. So it's all good.
Yeah.
I've already got 100 people entered.
Oh wow, that's really good.
More than I expected.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, that's just people who have sent their like initial entry, which means that they're planning to, or like they're starting to work. I don't know if 100 people are actually going to finish their projects. We'll have to see, but it's a good amount of entries, and it's been keeping me very busy replying to all those emails.
Yeah. I know.
In the past, when
you go first. Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say, in the past, when I've done contests, having people email me like a photo entry or something like that, I've usually just not replied because it just would take too much time to reply back to all the emails. But in this case, because it's like building contest, it's a little bit more important for me to reply and acknowledge to people that I got their entry. But it's very time consuming.
Yeah. I know in the contest I'm participating in, well, I haven't actually entered yet because I'm waiting for more on how to do with Citadel paint and a chance to actually not be working and go buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I think so far we have like around 10 people, maybe less. But
you're in a very specific location, right?
sorry,
So,
what?
but you're in a very specific location, right? So like you can't expect that you're going to have like hundreds of people entering something in
Yeah.
in that area, right?
Like out of everyone that's participating, I'm probably the least skilled. So as soon as I got a
that's just local for like Oklahoma area.
No. This is for my Discord, the build fight tabletop Discord.
Ah, okay, right. How many members in that group totally?
Let me go look at my PC.
Because we were just talking very briefly about that before I started us going live. But do you want to talk more about that? Because it's a pretty cool idea, and I'm sure there's probably some people out there who are interested in.
So the Discord is called the Build Fight System. I think it's been pitched around somewhere on the actual Gunpla Reddit. As of right now, we have, oh boy. Well, as of right now, we have 24 people online. About, I think we have about 13 or 14 people who actually met, and I got people are actually like just lurking, and no problems with that. Participate in the conversation, the better the conversation gets. So
sure.
We have separate like sub forums. They actually have no, that's actually somebody else's. I confused somebody else's Hygog with yours because it looks very similar.
Someone copied? No. A camo pattern, especially anything like remotely looking aquatic camo pattern on a Hygog is not the most unique thing. I'm sure there's a lot of them out there.
Okay.
1 second. Sorry.
Yeah. No problem. I noticed, hey to you guys in the chat, by the way. I noticed Alex joined the chat. I guess his ears were burning because we were talking about it. Hello, Alex, and everyone else there in the chat. Hello. Just to fill you guys in, anyone who's coming in late who maybe wasn't here at the beginning, what I'm currently working on is the Grays, the mini Grays. There's this mini rifle. Maybe if I have this in the light, maybe you can actually see that. That mini kit that was clear. It's about, I did the math and I forget. It's like about 1 to 350 scale, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. Alex, what we were saying about you was we were talking about airbrushing and like space limitations on airbrushing. And I was just mentioning how you can't airbrush because you'd have to run the airbrush hose like all the way across your apartment. That's all, man. Jeez. So anyway, after getting the panel lining on this done, then I've also got a couple of converge figures here in the queue as well that I want to try to get the panel lining done on, but probably won't get to finishing them tonight. But we'll see. Panel lining is taking a while. I'm using my own mixed enamel rather than Tamiya accent color. The converge figures that I'm going to be detailing up next is a Char's Zaku and a Zaku 1 and a Build Burning Gundam, Try Burning Gundam. Where did that go? Oh, here. And got the Flame of Heart.
I'm back.
Nope. All right.
My
Just
mom's
showing
doing
this.
stuff, and I'm just trying to be conscious of that. I think I'm just going to go out on the balcony, actually.
John.
Is that a beat?
No, converge. Very small.
Oh.
But I just have the flame effect parts from the HG kit on it.
Right.
Nicely.
I'm going to mute my mic really quick while I go get my shoe.
All right. Alex finally finished his Zaku Cannon. Congratulations. So yeah, the reason again why I'm working on these little things and also just finished that little petite guy that had been sitting on my desk for a long time is because I'm trying to clear off these works off my desk so that my desk is clean so I can get back to working on the Mega Size Zaku and also start painting the Psycho Zaku. The Psycho Zaku will take a long time because it's a lot of parts, of course, but I'm not planning on doing any modification or anything to it. Just a custom color scheme and decals and all that, of course, will be a little bit custom. I'll use some custom markings, like all the custom markings and stuff like that. I'll just keep to the original pattern layout. So anyway, between those two very big projects, I need my desk space. So I need to get this stuff off. So yeah. Any questions you guys have there? In the chat that you guys are hanging out while we're just waiting for Christian to come back. You guys have any questions or anything while I'm just hanging out here? Don't really have anything else to talk specifically about, so I'm just kind of rambling at this point. What Verka to get? What Verka should you get? Hey, well, sorry. Someone just asked in the chats what Verka kit they should get, and I was about to answer that.
Oh, you can go ahead.
I don't know. They're all good. I don't know if I've tried. I think the easier answer would be what Verka kit maybe not to get, but even that one, I don't know. From my experience, I haven't built all of them, but of course the RX-782 Gundam is probably the least in terms of quality, but I think it looks really good. So I don't know. Whatever you want. Anyway, so Christian, tell us some more about the game.
Oh, the build fight system?
Yeah.
So right now we're on version 2, I think, of the rules. They're being updated on about a bi-monthly basis, I think, at this point, or at least just whenever he actually makes enough rule changes to put out an update. It's sort of like a communal thing. Whenever we see a problem, we report it, and then we all kind of bug fix all together.
Who's he?
Our main guy, Neon. He changes his name on Discord a lot. I think his main handle is Neon Light Illusion. He's pretty cool.
Okay.
He's given me a lot of tips. We had a little Secret Santa thing, and he turned out to be mine, and he sent me... ooh, I gotta go find that. Like... that actually required glue and stuff. Oh, here it is. It's right on top.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Does that come with any? Does that come with any water slides in there?
No. It's actually just brown runners, and that's the only thing that came in the box, other than the instructions.
I think it is maybe just the MSV, because of those old kits. I think it's just the MSV kits that come with water slides, if I can remember correctly. But they're so nice.
It's all back in the box.
So what? Just kind of to go back. What got you first into Gundam and Gunpla and stuff?
I'd always been kind of like background kind of into this stuff, but I hadn't never really watched any of it. It really started when I caught some 00 on like Toonami or something. I'm not even sure when. But then I watched all of 00, thought it was neat. I did a little digging, not like anything actually worth calling digging. For more stuff, I couldn't find any. And then, like a couple years later, I caught Build Fighters starting out, and that just like brought me into the fold.
Mm-hmm.
And then since then, I've pretty much watched everything post 00, and I'm starting to get into UC and Wing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
What's been maybe your favorite series so far?
My favorite is actually Age.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I
suppose not many people would say that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just something about, like, I really liked watching Flit develop, even though he was turned into, like, a complete douche.
Mm-hmm.
Well, douche isn't the right word, but I don't know. He just let his hatred consume him, and it was really interesting to watch, along with just all the designs really appealed to me. Except for the Age 3. The Age 3 is just like a little bulky for me.
There's certain aspects of the designs that I really love, and some of them I really dislike. The spoiler, admittedly, is quite odd, but it's really not the biggest like negative point for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on the design.
My personal favorite design out of all of it, I think, is actually like the Shao doll.
Uh-huh.
For the use of green. I just love that green.
I actually just recently bought an HG Shaldal Rogue kit.
Oh, yeah?
Because I thought it looks pretty cool, and looks like it'll just be like a pretty simple build and paint. That kit, so that's in my pile now, my stack of stuff that is for like if I just want like a really short, just like 1 week project. Like
Yeah.
just snap it and paint it, and that's it. Not really do anything to it. Yeah, the Shaldal Rogue and the GXS. So like the pair Oh,
Oh,
a
yeah.
pair of them.
Yeah, the GXs is really cool too.
I love the head design on that.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like cat ears kind of things.
Yeah.
Really cool head design. Actually, those, I mean, I'm not familiar with the story, so I don't know what the lineage is of those mobile suits, but the design of the mobile suits is quite similar. So I thought the
Yeah.
two of those would make like a good like team set. So I'm gonna do them in some kind of like either the same kind of color scheme or opposite color scheme or something. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but
I could tell you like what's up, but I don't know if you want to know what's up with those. I guess
is
if
is a
you want
spoiler involved?
Oh yes, it's very spoilery.
Okay. Well then, no. Maybe I guess not. It's fine. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Um, I think it's kind of obvious, but obviously the Shadow Rogue is part of a pirate crew, and that's about all I can say.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I figure eventually I'll get around to watching it, but I can't even stay up to date on Armlet Orphans, so it's kind of hard to find the time.
Whew, man.
How about you? Are you watching Armlet Orphans every week?
Yes, and this past episode was not a fun one.
No.
And I really can't say anything about this one because it's one.
Mm.
Um,
I know it's been pretty crazy. I think I'm on like episode 38, I want to say.
oh, so you're still like you're right at the tail end of the first season.
No.
Or
It's
no, first season ended at
mm,
26.
they're just fighting. They're just currently fighting the Hashmal now for me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I know quite a lot of stuff has happened since then, just from little bits and things that I've seen people posting on Facebook and stuff like that. Nothing's really been
Yeah.
too much spoiled for me. I know that like some people died or something, and I don't know.
What's your opinion on Eok so far?
He was fine when they were in space, and he was just kind of there as like Julieta's support. And then just what I've seen him do recently was just being a jackass fighting the Hashmal.
Yeah, that's actually pretty much the consensus in my Discord server is that Eok is a jackass.
I mean, that's fine to have a jackass character, but it also just seems like kind of lazy writing, and that's been kind of one of my problems with the series so far. The writing just seems quite lazy. That they just do whatever they need to, and it just really didn't make sense for his character. But I guess we didn't really know his character too well anyway. But
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like
I would have liked it to not be like I don't know. He kind of gives me Ein vibes, and how Ein was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna purge you of your sins," blah blah blah, and all the sinner talk, and like that's all right, but like they overdid it a lot.
but it seems like we just get introduced to these characters who are interesting, but then they're just kind of like written off like they do something weird or crazy and then they just die. It's like, okay, what was the point of that character really? To help advance the plot of the main characters, basically. I guess that's kind of by definition, I guess, what a supporting character is, but Carta
I mean, I would have
was another example of that.
Eok. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. What did you say?
I think I would have liked Eok to be more of a foil to Ghastly, just because it would have played off better. But at this point, he's basically Gjallarhorn Ghastly, so.
like in season 1, we had Carta, who
Yeah.
seemed like a really interesting character, and like really like disciplined military character, and had a really kind of interesting personality. Then like she's just gonna die, and there wasn't really any point to even introducing her into the story. Like there
I'm
was starting to be like her relationship uh, with
with
what's his face and what's his face.
is it McGillis or Galileo?
Both of them, anyway, just the three of them, their relationship together. Then it just went to. I mean, and after she died, it's like there was nothing right there except for just like to make Galileo hate McGillis more.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of see her as like the foil to Tekadon. Like she had lots of discipline and like training, but she didn't have any actual like expertise in combat experience at all, and it just kind of served as a foil just to show like Colorhorn is. I don't know, like
Yeah.
I kind of, unless something like really hits me hard, I don't hate anything or dislike anything that much. And it's like what, so
Yeah.
I won't touch with a 10-foot pole though is Gundam Seed. I really like the designs, just sit through the whole thing.
Mm.
And I know that's like a controversial topic on like everything involving Gundam.
Gundam Seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it. I think I've watched it once, maybe twice, a long time ago, and it is what it was. It's fine. It's not my favorite series, but I don't hate it.
Right. Like I just Seed doesn't appeal to me really at all. So I just
Yeah.
I don't find it. It's kind of the same reason I couldn't get into Reconquista.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people couldn't get into Reconquista, so that's not too strange.
But I really like Wing. I'm on. Oh, I haven't watched it in a while. I think I was on. It's on Back to Space, and I think they're about to get the new mechs. It's right after the Vaiete and the Mercurius get stolen and stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Wing, for me, it hasn't aged well, and there's that nostalgia factor for me because it was like my introduction to Gundam.
Yeah.
But it definitely hasn't aged well. There's so much like recycled animation and like
yeah,
just
I see that a lot.
overall, it just seems like the quality of it is not as high as other series. But there's definitely interesting parts of there's parts of the series that I quite like, and some cool Gundam designs as well. Mercurius and the V8 especially are really cool designs.
Yeah. Honestly, my favorite design out of all of them is probably the Wing Zero, but like the TV version.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a fan of sharp designs. I have one second. I gotta move.
No problem.
The apartment's really small and sound travels a lot, so I have a commission design that I have out to one of our resident builders just because I don't have the skill for it, but I really want to see it made.
Mm-hmm.
I also commissioned him earlier for a bash. my taste in bashes is very eclectic.
Mm-hmm.
For me now is it's Gray's, Jesta, and Adele. From Adele's, it's sort of like the upgraded Genoese. I don't think I can find pictures to send you without.
I'm familiar generally with the mobile suit anyway.
Yeah, but the
So,
whole theme
like,
of it,
which parts from which designs? Because yeah, those are quite an odd combination.
I'm using the Gray's torso with. Hold on, I have to pull up a picture because I don't remember because it's been a while. PM. Okay, so I'm using the Adele head, Gray's torso, Jesta arms, the Jesta pelvis with the Adele legs, and he's sculpting me like a faceplate to go over the visor, and yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, the whole theme of it was, I didn't have a theme for it at the beginning, but the more I looked at it, I was like, oh, this thing needs powered arms powder. Because the whole theme, I found out that it looked like after sort of like a spider tarantula-esque thing.
Uh-huh.
So I had him sculpting out, like, you know how stylized, Spider-Man's mask, right? And how stylized the eyes are?
Yeah.
I had him doing like 4 of those on the mask, but working with play plate at that size and doing those kind of carvings is kind of hard.
Mm.
Me like a different faceplate for it. I don't actually know what it is yet because he showed me the newer faceplate and I'm like, you know what? Have fun with it. Just go free reign. I don't care.
Yeah. That's nice.
So
I'm sure he appreciated that.
yeah. I already talked about it, but I have another commission sort of like ready and waiting to get the go ahead on it. I'm gonna. Facebook.
I can tell you that I think the panel lining on this Converge Zaku 1 is going to look really nice.
That's good. It's always good when something goes right.
Pretty foolproof is not really the most difficult thing, but I mean, I'm just happy with how it's looking.
Yeah. We also have like a couple, 3 people who actually do line art and stuff, and we'll do commissions for colored paintings and stuff.
Mm.
So that helps a lot because I'm not very good at like visualizing without line art, but it's hard to find good line art of like. I know there's a site out there that has a lot of it, but a lot of the stuff that I like isn't on that site.
Oh yeah, there's
And
sometimes it's really weird. Like sometimes for some kits you can find like amazing line art, and sometimes there's just nothing.
And like the older suits, it's like really really easy to make line art out of them just because they're only like 2 or 3 shades of color. So just fill in the spots with white and then just go from there. But yeah.
Um, let's see. Just going back to your victory kit bash.
Oh, yeah.
When did you say is the due date for that?
June.
So you got, when was this announced?
I think the original Reddit post came out sometime like around the 15th of January.
What's the Gunpla Reddit community like? Because I've really never spent a whole lot of time there.
Oh, are you talking like
What's that?
our community? The community post that much? Just
Christian?
yeah. Did
Sorry,
we cut out?
yeah, it was breaking up a lot there.
Oh, okay. I was asking you whether you referred to our Gunpla or just like our community, or because
Yeah, just I don't know, just Gunpla in general, I guess, on Reddit. I know there's our Gunpla, right?
yeah, and I don't get on there a whole lot anymore. Back before I discovered the BFS, I was on there a lot, just looking around. Now that I'm with BFS, I get all the lurk stuff I need, just to look at.
Mm.
Um, our Gunpla is kind of like all the appeal on our Gunpla is pretty much through straight builds and just that's it.
Mm.
I know, like, usually when kit bashes go up on our Gunpla, they aren't received well. They're just epic.
Mm. Funny how that works, right?
Yeah, the contest officially started the 16th.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of contests going on.
Yeah.
But
I
people
know
can stay busy.
our Australian guy, Takaya, I think he was planning on entering the GBWC down in Australia, but I think he's doing a customized Beyond.
The HG kit?
Yeah, the Revive.
It's a great kit.
And he's done a lot of work on it.
I've seen just some really amazing builds of that kit. So it's a good one, eh? It's a good one to work on. That's another thing that's taking up space on my desk here is so I have just some parts set aside for doing some kit bashing actually myself using that kit.
Oh, really? What's the plan there?
Nothing really too extreme. I'm gonna use instead of the Gyan's head, I've got an extra HG Turn A Gundam head.
Oh,
So
that yeah.
I think that'll work out. I mean, I've
Oh, sorry, you first.
no, it's okay. I was gonna say I tested it on there and it looks really good on it. So
yeah, that's another thing I need to watch. I at my con there was a Gunpla trivia thing, and um, it was fine. The guy really liked Seed, and his trivia was kind of heavily slanted towards Seed, at least at the start. But I won one of his customs. It was sort of like a heavy armament version of the Dynamis, and I got season 2 of Turn A on disc. So
nice.
that's pretty
Turn A's. Fantastic series. No secret that it's one of my favorites.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I actually didn't know that.
It is. Turn A, Unicorn, and 8th MS Team are what I'll usually say are my favorite series.
8th MS Team is really good.
Mm.
I've seen a little of Turn A. It looks pretty cool. I think I've watched 4 or 5 episodes, and I got busy and then forgot about it.
Yeah, you have to stick with it. I think it doesn't have the same, like with some other series, like for example, Double Zeta or Victory, which is why I haven't been able to finish watching Victory. So I think it takes them a while to get going for you to really get really interested in it. And it could just maybe that's just me, but
Yeah.
with Turn A, I think it didn't really take as long. But you just have to not go into watching Turn A thinking that it's going to be anything like
Like a standard gun.
yeah, Seed or Double O or even Wing or anything like that. It's quite different. If you're just looking at it as just an anime series, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, if you have a chance, you should finish watching that sometime, or watch it somewhere.
Um, we sometimes have like watch parties and stuff, and I know I think I watched through most of Zeta. Whew, man, it takes forever to do anything for anything to happen in Zeta. Like, and I was actually paying attention, but I just like after a while it was just kind of
Lost interest. Yeah, I
and
yeah, I had mixed feelings about Zeta.
yeah, I know like a lot of the people in our server actually are really fans of like the designs from Attack on Zeta or Attack of Zeta. I don't remember the name.
Advance of Zeta.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And like the designs from that are really, really cool too. I really like the Hazel. Um, it just sucks that we can't get any more kits of it.
Right.
Because, yeah.
Yeah. That is unfortunate.
Who exactly owns the rights to Advance of
That'd
Zeta?
be a Dengeki Hobby magazine, as far as
Okay.
I know.
Huh.
So that's why you see some posts about that sometimes on the Gundam Guy and stuff, showing like some of the reboot designs, some of the Advance of Zeta reboot, because I think that's something Dengeki Hobby is still currently doing, but none of that stuff is ever gonna actually get made into kits unless something happens with that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
We have sort of like an announcements sub channel on our Discord, and that's pretty much how I get all my news. I didn't actually know they were doing a reboot of the Advance of Zeta stuff.
Yeah, I don't really know too much about it actually. I mean, I couldn't really tell you too much more about it, but
oh, that's my phone saying I'm dying. Please charge me.
I just know that the designs are cool, but we're never gonna get any kits of them.
Oh, the Quell.
No, there's kits of the Quell. Luckily, that's a cool design. But
Oh,
that's. Oh, are you talking about the reboot Quell?
like, I have no idea.
I guess probably the black one. Maybe what you're talking about. It's like the inlay or something like that. You know what it's called?
I heard you say like cool or something, and I thought it was Quell.
Yeah, maybe I just said cool.
Who dis? Oh. PM on Discord, and I was like, "Who's this? I don't know you."
think I'm probably melting out of the frame there, kind of. Uh,
Uh, hmm, this'll work.
I don't know how well you guys can actually see that, but
Ooh.
you can't really actually see too much of anything in this.
I mean, it looks really nice.
See if I can change my light or just get rid of that light. It's all just messy panel lining, but you can tell that there's a lot of stuff to be panel lined that will look better once it's done, cleaned up. I've been meaning to do this for a really long time because one of the things I wanted to do is put a couple of these Converge figures in my car on the
Just
dashboard.
like on your desk.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I was waiting to detail them up first. So that Converge Grimoire that I did a week or so ago was like just first kind of experiment. Now that I know that it works well and looks really good, I'm excited to do some more. I have a load of Converge figures, so plenty to work on.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Kotobukiya stuff, like I know standard issue, like just sort of like an issue everybody has is that the handles are a little big.
A little big or a little small, depending on what you're doing. Yeah, they often don't fit well for Gundam stuff.
I know like a lot of that stuff wouldn't kit bash well, but I know there are a couple of them that would look really cool, like maybe with some stuff.
I mean, stuff like just relatively simple fitting issues like that is not really that big of a deal. And
right.
but yeah, the scale can be odd depending on what you want. I mean, it could be odd in a good way, like if you want something like a 1/44 scale kit, and you want it to have like some really huge gun. So if the Kotobukiya weapon is, a little bit larger in scale, then it's perfect for you. But if you wanted something that's close to the 1/44 scale, then it's not going to work right. This depends on which exactly weapon you want.
Yeah. So I guess back to my victory build. I've never dealt with like diorama stuff, so I know like I have a lot of the particle stuff, like the fake sand and stuff, over Wargaming Shop, but making just like the base for it, I know I can do like a dune with some styrofoam and just shape the styrofoam, but as for the base itself, handle that.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of ways, and I mean, I think I really don't have a whole lot of experience in this, so I can't really help you too much, unfortunately. But I think just when it comes to diorama building, it's basically just kind of whatever you can get to work,
Yeah.
So like, just for like the actual main base part, like if you just have like just a sheet of like foam core board or something would be enough, and that'd be also light. But you could also use a piece of wood. You can get a nice piece of wood.
Yeah.
It just depends on kind of the look that you want and what is possibly available for you.
Yeah, because I mean, I didn't want anything like really big. I just wanted like a circle around. Oh, geez. Here's where my ineptitude with measurements comes in. Like about the diameter of like a big cereal bowl, not like a huge bowl, but a decent sized bowl.
That would be an odd thing to use for a size comparison, but luckily I'm a cereal master, so I'm on board with that.
And like maybe like 3 centimeters thick, and just like use foam and the fake sand for the rest and make it look nice. Because I've seen
Clay? You might want to look into using some kind of clay.
Yeah, I've seen some people do that, and then like, so I think I saw somebody else use some kind of putty and then bake it in the oven.
I'm not sure about baking putty in the oven, but I guess that might be some kind of clay, maybe not putty, but I'm not sure.
I don't remember. It was this past. No, I don't know if he actually entered the GBWC, but he made a Grimgird, and he colored it like a hornet, and he gave a tutorial on how to make the base that he did. I think I have it bookmarked somewhere.
Was that Squee? Chris Revelado? I know he made a yellow Grimgird that he entered in New York Comic Con.
I think that might have been it. I'm not 100% sure. I think he called it the Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, I think that might be his. I don't remember the name of it, but that sounds like probably maybe what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't remember exactly the work in progress for that either, but I can imagine that I'm sure I remember he used some sort of clay on that. This is a pretty common type. I have some here actually. I think it's probably pretty usual. Mr. Diorama clay.
Okay.
That I bought to use on a diorama that I was planning to work on last year, but didn't got around to it. For GBWC as well.
Yeah. And I was planning on having not like traditional yellow desert sand. I was thinking more like Utah desert red dirt, red rock.
Okay, yeah.
For the victory build, so.
Or Hawaii.
Really?
Hawaii is, well, I don't know, maybe I guess it depends on the island, but when I visited Kauai, there's a lot of red dirt there. It may just be a Kauai thing, I don't know. But you could look into that for more reference images, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think it was like a famous thing too, because I remember like there was a lot of places like selling like touristy T-shirts that was related to the red dirt.
And I know I could probably incorporate like Oklahoma, like Noble, Oklahoma. Their kind of specialty. My family's out of there. Like their special thing about the town is just that they have loads and loads of like rose rocks, which are specially formed sandstone. They kind of look like roses. They have like petals and everything, and I could probably use those like small ones.
I'm familiar with that.
I could probably put small ones in the diorama just to use as rocks and stuff. Obviously.
Yeah, and makes it more personal anyway.
Yeah.
I think this is almost done. A lot more paneling on this one than there was on that Grimgird.
The grays.
What's that?
Uh, you said Grimgird.
Yeah, sorry, Grimoire, I mean.
Oh, okay.
I mean the Converge Grimoire that I painted like a week or so ago. That one.
Oh wow, I didn't
That
think it was
little
that
guy.
small.
It's quite small.
Yeah.
So yeah, putting on the decals on that was like just searching through my decals to find the smallest decals that I had.
But
Yeah.
I'm just because I know like I've gotten a lot of tips about hand painting, but
Mhm.
like the basic gist of it is that you go over with it, you prime first, obviously, and then you go over it with brush strokes all in one direction, and then for the next coat, because you only want to do like hyper light coats, you want to go over the next coat in a different direction, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah, generally that's my understanding as well, but again, that's also something that I don't have a lot of experience with, so unfortunately it can't really be too much help. I know Justin has some good tutorials about that
Yeah, yeah.
on his channel, so might be worth checking those out, I would say. I have tried hand brushing a little bit and it just didn't really work out, and just I don't know. I suppose I may try it again someday, but it's kind of like how you're kind of nervous to try airbrushing. That's kind of like how it is with me with just hand painting a kit,
Oh
because
yeah.
I'm just so not confident in being able to do it. I don't know, and just no need really.
Yeah, you have an airbrush, so
Mm.
uh,
For
do you
some
play
for
any
some things, I mean, it would be fitting, but generally, what I want to achieve is just fine just doing by airbrush.
you play any Armored Core?
I have in the past. I don't now, and I haven't really been too interested in it for a while, but I have played some in the past, yeah.
Okay, because we're kind of having like it's not like a whole group thing, but I know like a couple of us are doing like co-op for answer, and Jesus, the spirit of Motherwell is murder on light mechs. I don't know. Maybe it's just that I don't know how to dodge.
Uh, yeah. Don't really have a whole lot of experience there, so couldn't really tell. I think I played. I want to say that I think I even may have bought For Answer at some point, but I don't really remember even playing it that much. I played Armored Core 3 a lot. That's
Okay.
going way back, I think, if I remember correctly. That was the one that kind of had that like really big, bulky red and brown kind of neck on the front. It was Armored Core 3,
Maybe
right?
I I I think so. I've played like Verdict Day and For Answer, and that's pretty much it. Um.
I'm talking PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think with three that was Nine Ball and his mech.
This was whichever game that I'm thinking of. I mean, I know it was not that. I think this was before Nine Ball.
Oh yeah, because three was like the prequel thing. I'm not sure. I mean, I poured over the TV tropes for all these games, but that was a while ago.
All right. Calling it done on this stuff here. Got all the lining done for the grays and this one Zaku, so Char's Zaku 2 and the tri-burning will have to wait till tomorrow or later on.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I would show you like how the build fight system works, but I don't know if you want to sit through that because depending on like the mechs that are fighting, it can drag on for a while.
Yeah. So what? How does it work? So I mean,
it's mostly like D20 based. You roll for initiative, and we have like I think we have 7 or 8 maps. You roll for who goes first, and then you pick which corner of the map you want to start on. And depending on the map, you have like obstacles. Like one of them's in space, just kind of like in lower Earth orbit with Salamis cruisers. And if you enter their range, they'll automatically fire on you. And then like we have asteroid fields, and then we have one that's based in a city, and it has automatic defenses that roll out after like turn 3 or 4.
mm-hmm.
And it's basically you take turns, and each hex, depending on your frame type, light, medium, or heavy, you get it eats up like 1.5 or 2 points. And then if you upload pictures of your suit, and then like the more work you do on your suit, like painting and panel lining and all that good stuff, you get points to spend, and you can reduce your movement costs and bump up your damage and stuff like that.
Well, sounds much too complicated for me.
I mean,
but
it's pretty daunting at first, but I picked it up pretty quick. But
yeah, I mean, I also have no experience in any kind of tabletop gaming. It's just not something that I've ever been to. And so I suppose for people who have played other similar games, then it doesn't really sound that complicated at all, I suppose. But did you play other games before that?
I did like a little bit of Pathfinder stuff, but not enough to like I know how to play Pathfinder, but I couldn't tell you every like little nuance of the game and stuff like that. I got the general overall stuff down. And even then, like I still had to use like a character generator to figure out some of the weirder formulas for stats, defense score, and stuff like that. So I have like very rudimentary knowledge of that stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot. One of my I want to say this was even maybe back around the time when like Pokemon was first getting popular in the States, and then like including like the card game as well. And I think maybe at the time I had some Pokemon cards. And I just remember one time hanging out with one of my neighbors who was 1 or 2 or a couple of years older than me, and he had some Magic cards, and he was showing them to me, and like I think maybe trying to explain to me about Magic, and I was like, not interested. It's too complicated. Even that.
Yeah, I've played all the big 3. I've played a little bit of Pokemon, a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh, a little bit of Magic. I never really got any like competitive with it, just because the stuff I built was mostly just for like fun and what I liked, and I don't really do the whole competitive thing for that stuff because it's Yu-Gi-Oh at this point is just awful. Unless I don't even know. I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh like even at all once they introduced Pendulum stuff. I haven't played Pokemon in years, and Magic I just kind of fell out with.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that even though I'm not interested in Magic at all, uh, every once in a while I watch. Do you know what's his name on YouTube? Boogie2988.
Oh, Boogie?
Yeah. Every once in a while I'll watch like his Magic unboxing videos, and
Hmm.
they're just kind of oddly satisfying, even though I have no idea what any of this stuff is. But he's
Yeah.
just a funny guy.
The unboxing videos are kind of fun to watch just to see like how much the card values are at the moment, and it can get pretty crazy.
Mm. Yeah, it's that's a whole other thing to it. That, like aside from just the game and everything, like just the whole like buying and selling and stuff of cards, and I can't imagine paying that much for some cards, right?
Yeah, no, I just like that. That's why I'm glad I started up on Gunpla, because if I hadn't, I was probably going to start in competitive card games, and I was just like,
Because I mean, if there's like, I mean, so like some card that I really wanted, it's like $80 or something like that. I imagine the reason probably the person wants that card is either they're a collector and don't have that one, or like really into competitive gaming and like really want that card for a specific deck or something, I guess. But
yeah, that's almost always the case of like high card prices. Is that it's in high demand for a lot of decks,
mm,
and usually it's reserved for like really, really powerful cards.
mm,
Um, I know Arcbound Ravager was like that, and I think it might have just got. I think it just got a reprint, but it's still really, really like it's. I think it's still like 40 or $60 for a copy.
yeah, Gunpla is expensive enough. I think I'll just stick with that.
Yeah. Oh, I
Uh,
don't need to pay $40 for a slice of cardboard. No, thank you.
yeah, very small, thin piece. At least we have a little bit more mass to what we're buying with ours, right?
Yeah.
Uh, all right.
Um.
I need to film an unboxing video actually before I go to bed. But it's now getting
Right.
past 2, so I better get to that pretty soon.
Oh, it's 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
Oh.
late. But it's okay. This is
Yeah.
quite usual. This is usually my Gunpla time till maybe about 3 or so, but I'm just going to film an unboxing video here so that tomorrow at work I can warm my desk and snap the Hekija
Ooh.
tomorrow. I'm
Yeah.
actually going to try to finish the GM ground type and the Hekija, both of them. I should be able
Is
to.
that is that the new ground type?
Yeah,
Or, ooh, nice.
the this new HG kits. I got to get started on the January kits here. Uh, I, so far, the only kit that's come out this month that I've built is just the GM Sniper. So need to build the GM ground type, the Luna Gazer, the Hikija, the gun cannon, the SD Barbatos, and then the Helma Draencar and the
Oh.
Railway. Haven't even got those yet.
All right. I guess this
Busy.
is bye.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to do that just before getting to bed here pretty soon. But thanks for hanging out and
Yeah.
attempting to explain that game. It sounds interesting. It's not something that is really for me or that I could even understand well, but I hope
I mean,
that
it's cool to be in the server just because like you see
mm,
lots of cool custom stuff go up.
so for people who are interested in that, where should they check that out?
Um, we have a build fight system Reddit, and then if you want to get in on the RP part of it, that usually doesn't use the tabletop. It's gonna be Reddit, it's just BFS_RP.
BFS build by system _ RP.
Yep.
All right, so any of y'all watching out there want to check that out? Can check that out. What am I referencing now? That thing was just a reference to something I don't even know what I was referencing. What is that? Who does that? Some other YouTuber or something. It's I don't know. It's late. Someone just commented on one of my, I think it was on a video today, asking me if I was like drunk or high or something at the time of filming the video because I was just talking really weird. It's like, no, just tired. So anyway, all right, I'll let you go then. Anyway, thanks for hanging out and agreeing to hang out live so we can just kind of share the chat with everyone else.
All right.
Much appreciated. And of course, thanks for your continued support.
No problem.
Very appreciated. All right, and anyway, thank you guys also for watching. If people want to check out any of your stuff, do you have Instagram or anything? YouTube, anything else you want to plug?
Looks like I better start doing stuff on Instagram, I guess.
Do you share your work online anywhere?
No, just because I don't do like a whole lot. I'm starting to get into it. Just follow me at Krishan Jones. I think that's what I called it. Like Chris and then HAWN_Jones, all lowercase.
Okay, on Instagram.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right. Well, goodbye, everyone. See you guys next time.
Have a great day.
Bye. See you, Christian.